Good morning. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. The show just builds itself. What an open in Z Cattle, as my friend calls it. His name is Meat Idea on X. He calls it the Meat Casino. And that, folks, you got to manage the risk. Brady Huck's going to talk about it later. We had big moves in cattle yesterday from up to down, bounced at the end of the day. Huge gap open today. That's not the only thing that's going up as we speak. Corn's up 6.5 in the front month. Beans up 18. Wheat not up as much as you would think, only up a penny in a few of the contracts and 5 in the others. Huge move in cattle. Hogs not believing it. Last night, gold was up $30 after the verbiage from the Fed meeting. Now it's down $10. We have to talk about the Fed meeting. I don't know how often any of you look at the stock market. Incredible volatility in the stock market. Some stocks out there yesterday had one of their worst one-day events in 25 years. Starbucks, CVS Pharmacy, L'Oreal, for you who wear makeup out there. Folks, that's showing people nobody needs Starbucks to live. Nobody needs makeup to live. But you do need these drugs and other things. But when they have all these drugstores and they're all getting robbed or they can't get labor, you're seeing huge closings of Walgreens. Walgreens stock is at half the value it was just a year or two ago. One of the worst performers out there, Walgreens stock, and CVS is their competitor. We had initial claims. We are starting to go into that fear market. We're starting to enter into the fear market of, I think we may have a weather problem. The drought map was out. Little surprised that on the map it takes a little longer to go away. But from what I'm seeing from the weather forecast, we're going to have a lot more moisture. Let's bring Brady Huck in. I'm sure he's excited about cattle. That was a heck of an open. And I actually thought for a little bit we were going to go almost limit up. Bring Brady in the show, please. There he is.
Morning, Tommy G. Yeah, big day in cattle, big week in cattle, big month in cattle. Cattle are crazy, Tommy.
Let
This
me go
market's
through the
nuts.
range here in June's. Okay, they opened at the low. No, that's not true. They opened way higher than that. But June cattle up 335. Brady, if you're having a hard time with your internet, I think he's having a little hard time
Yeah, I
with his
shut my
internet.
camera down there. I'm here in the background here, but maybe that helps
Yeah,
me out a
yeah.
little bit with the bandwidth.
Yeah, that might help. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hey, we got big markets in 2024, but bandwidth we don't have enough of because we're streaming live every day at 9 o'clock. ATI Pro Media powered by Advanced Trading. Talk about cattle. You are a cattle expert.
Yeah,
You do futures and options. You also do this other stuff. Congratulations for you for taking the test. Can you see that, Brady?
I
You're a
can.
big
Yeah,
part of that. That's livestock risk protection. Some people didn't want to take the test. Some people did. You're part of that did category. Congratulations.
it's a
Tell us
great.
how LRP could help you in a market like this, sir.
Yeah, great tool for producers to be looking at there, and subsidized, essentially a put floor, keeps you along the cash going up. Pay at the end too. That's the one of the biggest pieces of LRP is you don't put that cash to work up front in today's interest rate environment, and the cost of money, the cost of opportunity, paying at the end is a huge deal. But this market, it's volatile, Tommy, and I got to ask, are you surprised with the volatility? If you're surprised with the volatility, you shouldn't be. We've seen this for 6-8 months here, and when prices are high like this, you got to expect more volatility. Or a lot of headline risk. The funds are long. Big move last 3 days. Got a nice bounce today. Like you said, hope we go limit up. Hope for the bullish surprise, the bull market, but defend against that bearish surprise that could come and hurt you. What do we got here?
Just real quick on limits in cattle, they are really wide because the CME's widen limits so much. But 180.60 would be limit up in cattle in June. They're at 177.50. I had a map up of how land could absorb water and stuff, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Or we'll get to it right now. Okay, Kurt Struber is today's ATI Pro Media Premium. That'll be released this afternoon. But Kurt Struber from Advanced Trading Corporate did a presentation today, I believe, to the Rotary Club of the where are we? Bloomington Normal area. And what Kurt and I talked about on ATI Pro Media Premium was that if there's that much rain, and the ground couldn't handle it, why is the Mississippi River at where it's at? Now there's more rain coming and there's more rain coming, there's more rain coming, but every day, twice a day, I've been watching the river levels. And I asked Kurt, why is the Mississippi River absolutely not busting from the seams? And he said, I actually know that because I have a soil moisture storage capacity map. This helps determine drought vulnerability. Folks, if you ever wanted to know why land in Iowa is worth so much, it's these little blue squares. If you farm like some of our clients in southern Iowa and constantly remind us that it's not perfect down there, it's because these little yellow squares. But look at the state of Illinois. Look at the state of Illinois, how much blue there is on about two-thirds of the state.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And then where you not so much, although there is some blue, and maybe I'm not understanding this, but does Kansas have that good of dirt, but
It
they receive that little moisture? I'll let you speak. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's the point right there. I remember I got some friends up in Northwest Kansas, and they
You don't
talked
have any
about
friends.
I've
Anyway,
got
go
one
ahead.
friend, Tommy, he's
Oh,
up in Northwest Kansas. My one
my
guy.
buddy. Yeah.
But he did talk about, the different Northwest Kansas soil being very similar to Iowa, but like you said, just a different rainfall environment. And we do got the soil profile. But yeah, different rainfall environment, 20-24 inches in the western part of the state. And as you go east, you get in that, 30 to 40, massive range in the annual rainfall there in the state of Kansas. And look at that good dirt in Nebraska off there in
Mhm.
Nebraska, good dirt as well.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot by that map. That surprises me a little bit in a good way. Now, the whole Eastern Belt, when we talk about the drought map, there is, if we had the drought map up here today, there is almost, maybe Connor put it up there. Ah, doggone, Connor did our homework
Hunter
for
beat.
us. All right, look at that Eastern Belt. There is almost very little drought. In that part of Iowa, folks, that has orange and red,
Mhm.
whew, you'd be kidding me. I'd be shocked if that looked anything like that in a few weeks or a month with the moisture we have. Also, our friends up north in upper Minnesota, North Dakota, they are getting rainfall. Now, the really, really nasty stuff is down here. Texas, always dealing with something here when it comes to drought map. All
Yep.
right.
South Texas, something down there, New Mexico looking tough. But be interesting to see how this changes going forward.
Yeah, change is tough for people. All right. Connor put this up. Grain production areas. I'll put that up one more time. I'm a slow reader. Grain production areas experiencing drought and corn 90%, 4% change from last week. Soybean 17% -4 from last week. That's going to change a lot more here in the next few days. All right. We covered grains. They're up. It's really important that corn and beans close up. Corn was down 4 yesterday, closed up 4.5. It's up 6 now. If corn was to go down and close lower, that might change people's opinions. The clock is ticking. It is May days now. Every day we go into May, you're going to start to hear the chatter that we're behind. Now, there is uh, rain, then a dry day, then rain, then a dry day, then rain, then a dry day, all across the Midwest for the next 6 to 7 days. That puts us out to May 10th. The question is, and I ask you, the farmer watching this or the end user, whoever, how much corn, assuming it stops raining, which it doesn't, no guarantees here, folks. Mother Nature's large and in charge. How much corn can get planted between May 10th and June 1st? And then what's the weather like after that, right, Brady? Do we plant into what we call wet conditions and then go hot and dry? And everyone says we have shallow roots. One of the reasons many people think we had such good yields last year is we planted in dry conditions, the crop rooted down, and it continued to stay hot and dry a lot of the summer, but the crop had the structural root base. And I'm sounding like I understand agronomy, but I understand. I've had friends make me go out to a field, take a shovel, and dig down and see how low
Mhm.
those roots can go. If we plant into moisture and that crop knows there's moisture, it doesn't try to work so hard to get that water, right, Brady? And cows
Right.
probably do the same thing. I mean, how far will a cow travel to get some water?
Yeah, well, they'll travel a significant distance if they have to. They don't like to, and there's a cost to it, definitely. I mean, a plant, a cow, they're all expending energy to get that moisture and put the work in. I think to your point, about corn though, that strong foundation. If you can build that strong foundation underneath the house, like we did last year, that sets you up in a position to have some success and be able to get through some adversity when it gets tough in June or July, if it gets tough. But if you don't have a strong foundation here, if we get some damp feet and don't build that root system, maybe put some if we don't push those roots lower. But I'm still in that camp, Tommy. Rain makes grain, and rain's a good thing. It's that drought that I worry about, especially early season drought. Puts so much more criticalness on the mid season, late season weather that we have.
Yeah, good points. Okay, yesterday So we have this market move. What are we going to do? One of the complaints that we get is, I wish you would have told me to sell. I wish you would have told me to sell more.
Mhm.
So here, markets are up. Old crop. This is a great day to clean up some cash sales on old crop. New crop. This is a great day to get maybe your first real cash sale in there. Now, what we're going to do after you do that might be different than what you would do if you were 100% cash seller. So if you go sell 100%, or if you only sell cash and never buy futures or options, you're on your own. Advanced trading clients, if they make that first sale, they're going to buy those calls right back to keep that upside open. I have a feeling if wheat and other things start to go negative later, we could really have a bad day.
Mhm.
We're up right now, but it doesn't always matter where we are right now. It matters where we close. And as we say that, corn's starting to trade down. Let's talk Jay Powell and the Fed real quick.
Yep.
And before we do that, pop up Connor and Tommy yesterday, what we talked about, Rick, on that overlay up on the top there. Tommy and Connor, we keep that up there for a little bit. We talked about selling 2024 cash grain. We are 90, 100, 110, 120 days away from harvest. Rather than focus on, oh my God, I'm not going to get it in, we're actually thinking we're going to get it in. We need to reward this rally. This is the rally we've been waiting for. If we're afraid to sell it, let's put a floor under it, or let's get those first sales on and then buy those calls or call spreads up above. Connor did a great job of breaking that down. With that, Brady, I want to talk about Jay Powell real quick, getting the
Mhm.
questions one in the show. Federal Reserve says interest rates will stay at 2-decade high until inflation further cools. I don't know what the heck came out of that guy's mouth yesterday, but every time he tried to speak, he had to get a sip of water, and he's like, excuse me. So the press, for the first time, asked him really hard questions, and he awkwardly answered them as well as he could. Before the Fed meeting, the Dow was down 100, 200, NASDAQ SPOOs, we say SPOOs, that means SPs, were down significantly. They bounced back before the meeting. They exploded after the meeting and during his talk. But at the end of his talk, the S&P went from up 550 to only up 100. Incredible volatility in the stock market. We started a lot higher in stocks last night. The Dow was up 250, the Nasdaq was up 180, the S&Ps were up 40. They're almost all lower on the day, and that's, if the grain markets and other markets are buying into, oh, we had a huge day because the dollar did this, that the markets have changed since then. And so the thing that's scaring me a little bit about the overall commodity feel is that gold was up $30 last night. Now it's down 13. And but the other yellow commodity, corn's doing all right. Let's get in the questions or comments, then we'll end the show. Of course, we'll get those episodes out of Brady and Tom, not Brady, Connor and Tommy's episode went out last night. Today's ATI ProMedia Premium for premium subscribers is Kurt Struber, and you'll see us talk about that map. All right, let's get into questions. Can you read it, Brady?
Yeah, I can. Farmer Brett, there's a town named Goodland after the soil. It's along I-70. Farmer Brett, I'm got some good buddies there in Goodland, and
You got no good
that's a
buddies.
good point.
This guy got good
All my
buddies everywhere.
friends, all my
All my friends.
No, I went to
I
school at
got
Colby,
friends.
just 30 miles
You
east
didn't go
of
to
Goodland
school.
there. Junior college. I was a juke.
A lot of people go to junior college for 8 years. They call those people doctors. All right. What did you learn
True.
in college, Brady? Seriously. Number one thing you got from college.
Well, I learned how to work. That's what I learned, how to start something and how to finish something. Wouldn't say I learned how to work, but I learned how to start something and finish something.
Accountability to a project.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what I got.
When you're a kid, your dad and your grandpa kept you in line for that, but sure.
They taught me how to work. Yeah.
All right. Well, one of my dear friends and clients is calling here, and let's folks, how do you get a hold of us? So you call 1-855-737-FARM, or you email us at info@ATI ProMedia. Of course, if you ever missed the video podcast of this, we have the audio. Click ATI ProMedia on Spotify and Apple. And I think next week we're going to make that special announcement, Mr. Huck, and I'm excited about that. Mr. Rick, I'll end the show, and I'll end it both ways. I will end the clock and I will hit end. So sometimes Rick and we fight over who's hitting the buttons, and God, who's running this thing? All right, everyone, have a great day. If you need us, call. Do us a favor. If you're scared and you think that these rain delays are going to create significant problems, call us 1-855-737-FARM. Tell us we don't know what we're talking about. It's all ruined and the price is going higher. And then tell us how many futures you're long to. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.